sir, my question is question number 3. And just after this, I will invite your questions. How you will explain a particular object of the world? How you will explain Spinoza, sir? How you will explain this object of the world? Markers are very close to me, so I give the examples of markers. How you will explain this object? If you take the literal meaning of the point I have discussed regarding the first question, God is world, world is God, God is nature, nature is God. Can you say that this is God? If you said that this is God, then may I say that I am playing with the God? Now I say God is in my pocket. What do you want to say? What you will say? Miss Spinoza will understand that. Okay, now I have to come to the lower level. Means neither he is understanding my philosophy, nor he is understanding the answer of the question I have given on the basis of substance, God and the world. And he is not understanding the answer of the question I have given on the basis of attributes. Now I have to come down to modes level. Modes means you can say temporariness. Now Spinoza will give answer on the basis of modes. If you see words commonly used in philosophy, you can see all 3 definitions I have given in the same order in S letter. Spinoza, substance. If you can read the substance definition. Okay. And then for attributes. Right. Now see what definition he is giving of modes. Read it out. Means modes cannot be conceived to itself. It means he will give answer on the basis of modes, and modes means temporariness. As I've explained you in Cartesian philosophy, in the philosophy of arts, that if matter is a substance, extension is the attribute. What is a mode? Different size, shapes. If mind is a substance, thinking is the attribute, then what are the modes? Thoughts are, ideas are the modes. After explaining this, I'll invite your questions. And for this, that's why his modes theory you can take in any direction. If you will correlate these modes with substance, if you correlate the figures of geometry through space, they will become eternal. And if you take them in particular, then they are temporary. So, means Here you will see that Spinoza's philosophy is going in the direction of pluralism. Many modes are there. Biggest contradiction. What was the prime motive of philosophy of Spinoza? Monism. And here pluralism appears in his philosophy. But mostly thinkers have defended Spinoza, as I mentioned in my pre-class material, that whatever plurality appears in the philosophy of Spinoza, that is only up to empirical level. And there is no problem in accepting plurality at empirical level. All great thinkers have done so. In Plato's philosophy, you can see empirical plurality is there. And at the highest level, monism, oneness is there. You can see many great schools of philosophy. Same thing you can see in Vedanta, Shankar Vedanta. Same thing you can see in Buddhism. So this is not actually demerit of philosophy of Spinoza. That's why here I have mentioned about Martinio, who talks about sample theory. We have to take these modes in the form of sample. Sample theory means when by one sample we can reach up to the whole. How you can say that sum of all three interior angle of a triangle is equal to 180 degree? Can you draw all the triangles? Can you draw all the triangles of the world? No. Can you say that this statement is only probable? No. Regarding the figures of geometry, theorems of geometry, you can say that they are only samples. We can draw only a few triangles, and then we can say that sum of all three interior angle of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. Sample. Likewise, these are samples. I always say that rice is cooked or not. How you will come to know? You will take a sample out and see that rice is cooked or not. If one sample is cooked, it means whole rice is cooked. Because you will not take all the rices out, all the pieces out. If you will do this, then what you will eat? It means you will take the sample out, and by sample you will come to know about the whole. I always say that what a medical representative does, he used to go to a doctor and used to give the sample of medicine. And after seeing that sample, a doctor comes to know about the whole medicine. Then he starts, you can say, prescribing those medicines in his prescriptions. Sample theory, this is. By one, you can reach up to all. By part, you can reach up to whole. My question is, if you collect all the samples, if they are samples of the God, if you collect all the samples, if they are samples of the God, then God should be formed or not? God should be formed? if you collect all the samples? My question is, if you collect all the samples, whether God is formed or not? Yes or no?
No, sir.
He's saying yes. Which kind of God?
No, sir.
Exactly, God will be formed. But what type of? Natura naturata. If you will collect all the samples, then definitely this will be natura naturata. Although this is not the true explanation. And that's why I always say that when you will see all these things, I'll explain you later on as well. On geometry, there may be two types of questions on Spinoza. One type of question that how geometry has influenced the philosophy of Spinoza. So simply you can say that in on the basis of geometry only he went in his direction of pantheism. Geometrical figures are static. If a triangle is drawn, and triangle is drawn, no motion, no movement is possible here. It means when he is talking about his determinism in the beginning, so that is also an impact of geometry. And when he is saying that impersonal type of God, unqualified type of God, you can say that this is also a figure, this is also an impact of geometry. So geometry has left, and Spinoza intentionally has done so. He said that the best way to present your thoughts, your philosophy, is geometry. And the second type of question may be how the geometry has made the philosophy of Spinoza critical. If any such question is there, then certain points you have to address. Later on, I'll dictate you. Right now, I'm only telling you that. Actually, in geometry, what happens? Geometry talks about whole. That is abstract space. And sometimes it appears that it is ignoring the facts, figures, particulars. But in philosophy, this is not possible to ignore the facts. That's why it is said that somehow it appears that Spinoza is a bit confused between analytical statements of geometry and synthetical statements of our daily life, general experience. That way. Just I'm telling you, later on we have to discuss in detail, and I'll dictate you, and we right now what I'm doing, just I'm giving you the glimpses of his philosophy, little bit analysis as well. I will invite your questions, and then the dictation part will come.